Okay, so let's begin uh, seated on a block in a comfortable position. So that can be with your ankles crossed, your legs crossed, and then you can elevate your um, your butt a little bit and then sit down on the block and just kind of let the knees fall open towards the sides. And alternatively, if it's more comfortable for you, you can bend the knees and then open the feet hips width distance apart and place the block below your sitting bones here. So whatever is more comfortable for you. Try to sit in a position that you can stay in for a little bit of time. One that will help you elongate the spine from the crown of the head upwards. And wherever you are, bring your chin in a little bit towards your chest so that you're really feeling the elongation from the tailbone all the way through the crown of the head. Allow the shoulders to feel really heavy and drop down towards the floor. Unclench any tension that you might be feeling in the belly. Try to release all of the muscles in the pelvic floor. And then begin to take notice of your breath. Notice if you're able to elongate the inhalations a little bit more. Direct the breath into your belly, maybe into the space between your ribs. Trying to avoid breathing solely into the lungs and lifting up the chest and shoulders. So, really feeling the entire body filling up with air. And then begin to work on equalizing the exhalation to your inhalation. Making it equally long, equally thoughtful. Noticing as the breath leaves your body. And then again, noticing if there's any part of the body where you can unclench a little bit more. Allow the jaw to hang heavy. Feel the tongue relaxing all the way from the root of the mouth. Notice if you can relax the space behind your eyes. The muscles just below your eyes, the muscles between your eyebrows. Begin to really soften all of the muscles in the face. Continue to focus on elongating the inhalation. Notice as the air enters your body, how it travels through the body, makes its way down to the belly. Feeling the lower back expanding, the belly expanding, allowing the ribs to separate from one another. And then exhale slowly and with control. And we're going to work through a little pranayama, some square breathing. So we're going to inhale for 4, then hold the breath for 4, exhale for 4, hold the breath for 4, and work in this kind of breath cycle for a few minutes. So take an inhalation through the nose. Exhale through the nose. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 1, 2, 3, 4. Take a deep inhalation through the nose. Filling up your belly, allowing the ribs to separate, feeling the lungs and the back of the heart puffing up. Hold the breath here. Relax the muscles of the face, allow the chin to hang heavy towards the chest, feel the back of the neck elongating. And then slowly and with control, exhale through the nose. Continue to exhale, pulling the navel slightly in towards your spine, feeling the ribs coming in towards one another. And with the next inhalation, gently blink the eyes open and then extend the arms overhead. Gaze towards your fingertips. As you exhale, bring your left hand to the outside of your right knee. Bring your right hand towards the back of the spine, towards your sacrum. And then just come into a gentle twist here, gazing over the right shoulder towards the back. Relax the shoulders, pull the shoulder blades a little bit in towards one another to help open up the chest. Inhale, slowly coming back through center. Bring the arms overhead, gaze towards your fingertips. And then exhale, twisting over towards the other side, bringing the left hand towards your sacrum, bringing the right hand to the outside of your left knee. Without forcing the twist, try to move a little bit more from the spine, pulling the shoulder blades in towards one another, gazing towards the back. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Elongate the spine, gaze towards your fingers. And as you exhale, bring the hands over towards the right in line with your right glute. Maybe you press just the fingertips into the floor, and then bring the left arm over towards your left ear, and then begin to drop the left arm over towards the right side. Trying to really keep that arm as close to the ear as possible so that we're feeling the elongation happening through the entire left side body. Take another inhalation here. Pull the left fingers more towards the right side. And as you exhale, slowly bring the hands out in front of you. Maybe bringing them also into this tent shape, and then just begin to bring the belly down towards the tops of the thighs, relaxing the forehead in the direction of the floor. Inhale, press yourself back up, extend the arms overhead, elongate the spine, gaze towards your fingertips. Exhale, bring the left hand out towards the left side in line with your left glute, and then corkscrew the chest so that it's kind of facing up and open. Bring the right arm closer towards your right ear, and then begin to shift the right arm over towards the left side. So both of the sitting bones are pressing into your block or into the floor. We're trying to equalize the weight there, and then just keep extending the right arm over towards the left even more without causing any tension to your shoulders. Take an inhalation. And then as you exhale again, slowly unwind from the pose, bringing the right hand out in the front, bringing the left hand in line with the right. Gaze forward with your inhalation. And then exhale, gently drop the head down towards the floor, pressing the belly towards the top of the thighs, creating a little bit of a compression here. Relax the head, relax the neck. Press the hands into the floor with the inhalation, bring yourself back up. And then shift the weight, press the hands into the floor off of the block, coming into a tabletop position. You can readjust yourself here. Move the block over towards the side. The fingertips are facing towards the front of the mat. Shoulders in line with the wrists, knees hip width distance apart, and then the feet behind the knees, so they kind of disappear behind the knees. And then trying to keep a neutral spine, start creating circles with your body over the wrists. And then coming back, bringing the glutes towards the sitting bones. And then again, rotating over towards one side, shifting the weight kind of forward and over top of the fingertips, coming to the other side, coming back down. Trying to press the palms and fingers really firmly into the floor. So you're feeling really grounded there. And then next time your sitting bones come towards your heels, switch the rotation of the movements. Start to go in the other direction. Try to coordinate the movements with your breath. Trying to maintain a neutral spine here. And then the next time your sitting bones come down towards your heels, bring yourself back up into a tabletop and now rotate the hands so that the fingertips are facing your knees. You can walk the hands in towards the knees a little bit more and then tuck the toes and start to create that cow movement with the spine. So arching the spine, dropping the belly, gazing forward. And as you exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest, and then start to move with your sitting bones in the direction of your heels, keeping the fingers facing towards your knees. Inhale, shift the weight forward, bringing the sitting bones off of the heels, arching the spine, gazing forward. Opening the heart, pull the shoulder blades in towards one another. And then exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest, and then start to slowly bring your weight towards the back, bringing your sitting bones towards your heels. Inhale, shifting the weight forward, dropping the belly, gazing forward. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, pulling the navel in, bringing the chin in towards the chest, and then bringing the sitting bones down towards your heels. Stay here for a moment. Try to create that kind of press with the palms towards the floor while also engaging the fingertips and then really starting to work through the scapula. So feel the separation happening in your shoulder blades as you drop the chin closer towards your chest and you continue to press the arms towards the floor. Pull the navel in, inhale. And then exhale, gently rise. Switch the hands so that the fingertips are facing the front of the mat. Keep the hands relatively close to your knees and then lift the knees off of the floor and slowly come into a kind of shortened downward facing dog. Feet hips width distance apart still, hands about shoulder distance apart. Inhale as you gaze forward, pulling the tailbone up, micro bending into the knees, pressing the belly towards the top of the thighs. And then as you exhale, coming into this high plank with a rounded spine. So the shoulders are in line with the wrists or a little bit further forward. Drop the knees slowly and with control. Arch through the spine, gaze forward, inhale. And then exhale, press yourself back into that shortened downward facing dog. Bring the chin in towards the chest. Elevate the heels. Pull the knees in towards the belly, gaze forward. Shift the weight forward, round through the spine, and then drop the knees down towards the floor at the same time. Arch through the spine, gaze forward. Opening the heart, opening the throat, opening the neck. With your next exhalation, press yourself back into that shortened downward facing dog, bringing the knees off of the floor. Keeping the heels elevated for a bit. Gaze forward, inhale. And then exhale, walk the right foot in between the hands. Walk the left foot in between the hands. You can bring the blocks underneath your hands, bring the hands a little bit further forward. Begin to activate through your quadriceps here. Inhale, gaze forward, shift the weight a little bit more into the front of your feet. And then exhale, bend into the knees, drop the belly to the top of the thighs, hands to opposite elbows, drop the head, allow the head to hang heavy. You can invite some movements here from side to side, shifting the weight onto one foot and then the other. You can close your eyes here in this inversion and see how it feels. See how your balance feels with the eyes closed. By taking away one of your senses, do you still feel as in control? And then with the next inhalation, bring your hands to your waist. Begin to straighten through the legs. Bring your torso parallel with the floor. Gaze a little bit further forward without straining the neck. And then slowly rise all the way up to standing. Drop the hands alongside your body. Lift all 10 toes off of the floor. Separate all of your toes and then press all of your toes firmly into the floor. Begin to really activate through your legs all the way through your quadriceps, pulling the kneecaps up. Feel the sitting bones kind of pull in towards one another. Pull the navel in towards the back of the spine. Pull the shoulder blades slightly in towards one another, and then pull the shoulders down so you feel the activation all the way down through your fingertips. Elongate the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, towards the sky. Bring the chin in slightly towards the chest. And then keeping this activation in your body, begin to bring the arms overhead. The gaze is the last to go up. Gaze towards your fingertips. Exhale with control, bringing your hands down towards the floor, micro bending into the elbows, dropping the head. Inhale, bring your hands into a tent shape, gaze forward, elongate the spine, pull the belly in. Exhale, drop the hands onto the floor, walk your feet towards the back of the mat, coming into a plank pose. Shift the weight forward, drop the knees at the same time. Gently arch the spine, gaze forward, and then keep shifting the weight forward. Bend into the elbows and allow the elbows to graze towards your ribs. Bring the chest and chin down. Gaze forward here with the inhalation. Bring the tops of the feet to the floor, and then gently press the pelvis down onto the floor, lowering all the way down. Separate your feet as wide as the mat. Inhale, press into the hands, coming into a low cobra, gaze forward. Exhale, bring the chin back down towards the floor, tuck the toes, bring the knees slightly in, press yourself through tabletop and into a downward facing dog. Inhale, raise the right leg, keeping the hips squared so the right toes are gazing down towards the floor. Keep pressing the hands into the floor. And then as you exhale, shift the weight forward with control. Bring the right foot in between your hands. Bring the left knee down onto the floor. And bring your hands on top of your right thigh, interlacing your fingers. You can keep the back toes tucked if you'd like to. Press the inside of the right foot firmly into the floor. And then as you do so, start pressing your hands onto the top of your right thigh, working towards straightening through the arms. So you're kind of pushing yourself away from your right thigh as you're bending into your right thigh or into your right knee. And this sensation should kind of wake up your left hip flexor, your left psoas. Keep pressing the right leg away from you. And this also kind of helps you rotate the tailbone down, pull the pelvis down a little bit so that you can feel the opening happening in the left quad. Inhale here, gaze forward. And then exhale, bring your hands down to the floor. Bring the left knee off of the floor. Shift the weight into your fingertips and into your right foot. Drag your left foot to the front of the mat. Bring your feet together or like maybe a fist width distance apart. Bend into the knees, drop the belly on top of the thighs. So keep pulling the tailbone down more. Keep working into the knees bent like you're going to sit down in a chair. Gaze a little bit further forward. So we have to work into the inner thighs here a little bit and the quads to help us stabilize. Keep pressing the front of the feet into the floor. And then as you inhale, keeping that bend in the knees, bring the arms overhead coming into chair pose. Gaze forward, relax the shoulders as you pull the fingertips up. Pull the belly in. Take a deep inhalation. And then exhale, straightening through the legs, dropping the arms alongside your body, relaxing the shoulders. Reconnecting with the breath here and coming back into that engagement, feeling the feet as they press into the floor. Feeling the quadriceps and glutes start to work. Pulling the belly slightly in towards the spine. Inhale, bring your arms overhead, gaze at your fingertips. Exhale, bringing the hands down towards the floor, micro bend into the knees, drop the head, allow the head to hang heavy. Inhale, bringing the torso parallel with the floor, gaze forward, and then begin to step back with your feet, coming into that high plank again. Shift the weight forward, bringing the shoulders in line with the fingertips, and then drop the knees at exactly the same time. Gently arch through the spine. Press the chest forward. As you do so, begin to start bending into the elbows, bringing the chest and chin down. The tailbone is really pulling up. Untuck the back toes and bring the belly down onto the floor. Separate the feet as wide as the mat. Press the feet, especially the small toes, into the floor. And then begin to raise the chest coming into cobra. Gaze forward, inhale. Exhale, bring the chin back down onto the floor. Tuck the toes, bring the knees slightly in. Press yourself back into a tabletop. And then continue to press yourself up into a downward facing dog. Press the right foot into the floor. With the inhalation, bring the left leg up. Try not to open the left hip, so try to keep the hips squared. Left toes are pointing towards the floor and create that internal rotation with your left thigh. Right kneecap is facing forward. Press with your hands equally into the floor. Inhale. Exhale, shift the weight forward. Bring your left foot in between your hands. Bring the right knee down onto the floor. And then bring yourself up. Interlace your fingers. Press the palms, interlaced palms into your left thigh. And then really press the inside of your left foot into the floor. And as you're pressing and creating that contact, start to press yourself away from your thigh. So you're starting to create a bit of that pelvic tilt that helps you go a little bit deeper in the expansion of the right hip flexor, the right psoas, the right quadricep. Notice if you can find a little bit more stillness in this pose here. Take an inhalation. And then exhale, gaze forward. Slowly shift your weight forward, bringing your fingertips onto the floor. Elevate the back knee off of the floor. And then try to shift your weight and just kind of drag the back foot towards the front. Bringing your feet parallel to one another in between your hands. And then press the feet firmly into the floor. So separate all 10 toes. Really press them into the floor. Bend into the knees. Bring the belly on top of the thighs. And then keep working the butt back and down. So you can try to lower a little bit more, Bernadette. See, exactly, yeah. So the knees are kind of at like a 90-degree angle. And then from here, extend the arms in line with your ears. Relax the neck, gaze just a little bit in front of your toes, the belly still touching the thighs. And then from here, without moving the legs, try to just raise the arms and belly coming into chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, straightening through the legs, allowing the arms to just hang alongside the body. You can close the eyes for a moment if you'd like to here. And then inhale, if your eyes are closed, gently blink them open, bring the arms overhead, gaze at your fingertips. As you exhale, bringing the hands down towards the floor, dropping the head. Inhale, elongate the spine and gaze forward. And as you exhale, walk the feet towards the back of the mat, coming into plank. And then from your plank, press the hands into the floor so that you're feeling the scapula starting to work. Pull the belly in, and then with your toes, press yourself a little bit further forward. So maintaining that length through the entire spine. Dip the hips a little bit down lower so they're in line with your shoulders. And then press yourself a little bit back. Shift your weight a tiny bit further forward. We're not here for a really long time, so just try to kind of really engage the inner thighs, the glutes, the belly to help feel a little bit lighter in these movements. Shift your weight slightly back. And then coming back forward a little bit more. See if you can go just a little bit deeper. And with control, bring yourself back into a downward facing dog. Press the left foot into the floor. Inhale, bring the right leg overhead. Exhale, shift the weight forward. Bring the right foot in between your hands. Come onto the left toes and then pivot the left heel. So bring the left foot parallel with the back of the mat. Right toes are facing forward. And then inhale, bring yourself into a warrior two. So the right knee is bent. The left foot is parallel with the back of the mat, or bring the left foot like 45 degrees in. So you're kind of really pressing through the left heel. Extend the arms away from you in line with your shoulders. And try to really press your fingers away from one another. Take a deep inhalation here. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Keep bending into that right knee. And then as you exhale, straighten through the right leg. Bring the left hand towards your sacrum. Extend the right arm overhead. So again, coming into that lateral stretch on the right side here, you want to really press with your right big toe firmly into the floor as you're pulling your right fingertips towards the back. Inhale. And then exhale from here. Extend the right arm. Extend the left arm back behind you. You can walk your left foot in a little bit more towards the front of the mat. And then shift from the hips. So try not to move from the legs, just move from the hips forward. Bring the right hand to your right shin. Extend the left arm overhead. And then begin to twist here from your neck. So you're starting to gaze towards your left fingertips. And the left fingertips are in line with your nose. Take an inhalation here. Try to bring the chest and shoulders in line with the hips. So you kind of want to create almost like you're a piece of paper and you can go between the couch and the wall. You want to make sure that the hips aren't dipping towards the back and the chest forward. We really want to feel this all the way from our left hip into our left armpit. Inhale. And then as you exhale, gaze towards the floor, bring your left hand to the inside of your right foot. Come high onto the left toes, bend into the right knee. Bring the left foot slightly back. So now the right foot is a little bit on the right side, the left hand is inside of the right foot. Extend the right arm overhead, heading into a twist. Gaze towards your right fingertips, inhale. And then exhale, bring the left knee down onto the floor. Bring the right hand to the inside of your right foot. Elevate the back foot a little bit and then bring the left foot over towards the right. So we're coming into like on our knees, kind of the same how we were with with warrior two, but now we're on our left knee. So the left foot goes from behind us to the right side. And then the hand is on the inside of the right foot or on a block. Extend the left arm overhead. Begin to really press with the right arm into the right inner thigh. And at the same time, press with the right inner thigh into your arm. So you're trying to really increase that connection and kind of create this compression between the two spaces, and that'll help you stretch deeper into your right hip. Gaze towards your left fingertips, inhale. As you exhale, press into your right foot. Begin to bring the arms in line with your shoulders. So you're bringing yourself up. Now, press into the right heel and push the right foot a little bit away from you. You're working towards straightening the right leg. Coming into gate pose. So Bernadette, you can open the hips a little bit more towards your fireplace. The right heel is pressing into the floor. The right quads, the right kneecap is looking up. Arms are in line with your shoulders. And then moving again from your hips, now begin to move towards the back of the mat. Bring your left hand down in line with your left knee onto the floor or onto the block. And then press the right big toe towards the floor. So now ground through the right big toe and extend the right arm back behind you. So we're creating a super long line here from the right toes all the way through the right fingertips. Make sure you're not sinking down too much into your left hand. You still want to kind of press yourself away from the floor. Press your hips just a tiny bit further forward and then corkscrew the chest just a tiny bit up. So tiny little micro movements without causing any tension, but just so that you can feel the expansion in the whole front side body. Take an inhalation. And then as you exhale with control, slowly bringing yourself all the way back up. Re-bend into that right knee. You can walk the right foot closer to you. Bring the right elbow to the top of the right thigh, and then bring the left arm overhead. The right shoulder can come a little bit closer towards the right ear. Take an inhalation. And as you exhale slowly and with control, bring the left hand to the inside of your right foot. Pivot the back leg again. So it's now facing, the left toes are facing the back of the mat. Bring your right hand onto the floor. Walk your right foot towards your left. Bring the knees as wide as the mat. Bring your big toes to touch. You can bring a block underneath your forehead here, coming into child's pose for a moment. Drop your forehead onto the floor. Extend the arms away from you. Reconnecting with your breath for a moment. Noticing the sensations that are happening, that you're experiencing in your body. Noticing where your mind is traveling. And then working to kind of bring everything back to here and now. With your next inhalation, press your hands into the floor. Elevate your head, gaze forward. Begin to drag your hands towards you, towards the back of the mat. So the knees are about as wide as the mat. The heels are underneath of you. You can bring a block here as well under your sitting bones. Bring your hands towards your knees. And then we'll start to create a little bit of these cat-cow movements with the spine here from this position. So gently press the chest forward, pull the shoulder blades towards one another, gaze up towards the ceiling, opening the throat, opening the heart and chest. And then as you exhale, begin to round through the spine, pulling the tailbone down towards your heels, bringing the chin in towards your chest, rounding through the upper back. Inhale, pressing yourself forward, opening the heart, gazing up. Exhaling, rounding through the spine, chin to chest. Inhale as you gaze forward, opening the heart, pulling the shoulder blades towards one another. Exhaling, rounding through the spine. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale again, gazing up. And exhaling, rounding through the spine. Inhale, coming into a neutral spine. Walk the hands a little bit forward so that you can press into your hands a bit. Bring your sitting bones off of your knees. Tuck your toes. Separate the feet as wide as the mat. And then press yourself towards the back of the mat. So bringing the knees off of the floor, coming into Malasana at the back of the mat. And then keeping the hands on the floor, you can bring blocks under a block or two underneath your sitting bones or underneath your heels. We're going to try to pull the knees towards the back and at the same time round through the spine and walk the hands forward, dropping the chin towards the chest. So you want to start to feel this all the way from your tailbone through the crown of the head, the rounding of the spine. Keep pulling the knees slightly back and keep walking the hands a little bit further forward. They don't actually have to go forward. It's more kind of an energetic sensation where you can almost like feel this separating from itself, each vertebrae elongating a little bit more, creating that space so that when you inhale, you can feel the back expanding even more. You can feel the breath entering into your lower back, into the back of the ribs, into the chest cavity. And exhale. Inhaling again, feeling the breath as it enters the body, makes its way all the way down to the tailbone. And exhale, slowly rise. Bring the gaze up towards the front of the mat. And then begin to walk the hands forward, shifting yourself back into a downward facing dog. So maybe walking the feet in just a little bit, shifting the weight so it's equal between your hands and your feet. Elongating the spine, inviting as much or as little movement here as you need. This could mean you bend into one knee and then the other. Maybe you gaze a little bit below your armpits. Invite some movement into the neck. Or work towards stillness. Wherever you are, try to reconnect with your breath. Press the right foot into the floor. With the inhalation, bring the left leg up. With the exhalation, shift the weight forward. Bring the left foot in between your hands. The back foot come up onto the toes on the back foot. Rotate the right foot so that it's parallel with the back of the mat. Bend into that left knee. And then as you inhale, come into a warrior two. So the hips are opening towards the right side of the mat. You want to be pressing with the back leg away from you. So really extending through the heel and through the hamstring. And as you shift the weight into your left foot, so you're pressing equally into the feet, kind of away from one another. And while you do that, you pull the inner thighs in towards one another. So you're activating through the mula bandha. You're pulling the muscles of the pelvic floor up. Begin to extend the arms away from you. Gaze at your left fingertips. Relax the shoulders. Take an inhalation. And then as you exhale, begin to straighten through the left leg. Active quadriceps here. Rotate the right hand so the palm is facing the back. And then bend into the right elbow. Bring the right hand to your sacrum. Extend the left arm overhead. We're kind of shortening the right side body and shortening the right side body and extending the left side body here. Keep the belly pulled in. Inhale. Exhale, slowly coming back up. Extend the right arm now, in line with the right shoulder. Trying to move here from the hips without moving the legs. Shift the weight slightly forward. So really pull the left hand forward. And then bring the left hand towards the left shin. Extend the right arm overhead with your gaze. If you feel you have the balance, begin to gaze towards your right fingertips, which are in line with your nose. Try to pull the shoulders a little bit back so they're in line with the hips. Trying to create the sensation from the right hip into the right armpit. So that side of the body is really elongating. Keep pulling the navel slightly in towards your spine. Take another really deep inhalation here. And then as you exhale, drop the gaze down towards your left foot. Begin to bend into the left knee. At the same time, rotate your body so it's facing the mat. Bring your right hand down to the inside of your left foot. Bring your right heel up. Drop the right knee down onto the floor if you'd like to, or stay up here. And then with the inhalation, bring the left arm overhead, coming into a twist. Gaze towards your left fingertips. Drop the hips slightly down towards the floor. Another deep inhalation. And as you exhale, bring the left hand down to frame the left foot rather. Bring the right knee down if it's up. Bring the right foot just a little bit up so that you can move the right foot over towards the left. And then bring yourself up into that kind of warrior two pose for a moment. If you want to use a block here, bring a block to the inside of your left foot, and then place your left hand on the block on the inside of your left foot as you extend the right arm overhead. So we're really working on opening the chest here and opening into the hips and the inner left thigh. So try to press with your left arm to the inner thigh, and then with the inner thigh back into your arm. Creating that connection, kind of making it a little bit spicy for yourself so that you feel it all the way down into your glute. Keep gazing at the right fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, make your way back up into that kind of warrior two-esque position. You can bring your left toes off of the floor and then press the left heel away from you. So you're starting to straighten through the left leg. The left quads and left knee are looking up. Arms are in line with the shoulders. And then begin to move from the hips towards the back of the mat. Bring your right hand in line with your right knee. Option to stay here or extend the left arm overhead. And then option to stay here or work on pressing the left big toe down towards the floor. So you're almost creating this kind of like slide from your left fingertips all the way down to your left toes. Pull the belly in. Option to always place a block underneath your right hand here. Another deep inhalation. Try to press the hips just a little bit further forward without causing any pain to your lower back. Corkscrew the chest just a tiny bit open. And feel what happens here to your left hip flexor when you stay super active and you're really opening your left side body. Notice your breath. Inhale. As you exhale, gently press yourself back up. Re-bend into that left knee. Press the left big toe onto the floor. Bring the left elbow to your left thigh. And then extend the right arm overhead. Inhale. And exhale. Rotate your body to frame your left foot. Bring your right foot back towards the back of the mat. Bring your left knee in towards your right. And then pull your inner thighs in towards one another. Bring your sitting bones down towards your heels. Bring the forehead down onto the floor and extend the arms back behind you with the palms facing up. Coming into a slightly different variation of Balasana, of child's pose, but one where we're able to round through the spine and relax the shoulders, allowing the shoulders to hang heavy towards the floor. With your inhalation, notice if maybe you can again direct the breath into your lower back. Notice as it travels all the way up through your spine. See if you can really expand the entire backside body. And then exhale with control through the mouth. Again, inviting the breath, letting it travel all the way down your spine. Filling the belly with the breath so that you can feel the belly really pressing into the top of the thighs. Feeling the back of the heart expanding. And exhale. Bring your hands underneath your elbows or your shoulders. Press yourself back up into a seated position. Shift your weight over towards one side. And extend the legs away from you. You can pull your butt cheeks, your glutes out from underneath of you so that your sitting bones are feeling more grounded. And then keep the left leg extended, bend into the right knee. Press the right toe into the floor and try to keep the right heel in line with your right sitting bone. Bring your left hand back behind you. Inhale, bring the right arm overhead. And then as you exhale, try to shift your weight forward, reaching for your left foot with your right hand. Not important whether you can touch the left foot. More importantly, we're trying to keep the right knee so it's staying really close to the right armpit and the right shoulder. Keep reaching forward. Now, once you get kind of to your max, rotate the palms so that the thumb is facing the floor. And then bring your right elbow towards your right side, kind of so that you can try to grab your right knee with your right arm. And then work your right hand towards your right hip, your right inner thigh. Left hand extends forward, and then bring your left hand towards your sacrum. You can work on trying to bring your fingertips together and then start to come down with your forehead towards the knee. But we're working a little bit deeper into the shoulder girdle here by trying to wrap our right arm around our right knee. Pull the belly slightly in wherever you are, gaze towards your left toes, and then begin to bow down towards your left foot. Both of the sitting bones grounded into the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, slowly coming back up, unwinding from the pose, noticing how that feels on your right arm as the blood starts to rush back into your hand. Bring the right arm back behind you. Extend the left arm overhead. Make sure that that left knee is still just facing up and not coming out towards the side. The right knee, rather, is looking up, not facing out towards the side. And then option one is bring your right knee into your left elbow crease and gaze back behind you in a twist. Other option is bring your left elbow to the outside of your right thigh, coming into a twist. Inhale, try to elongate the spine. Pull the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, slowly coming back through center. And just switch sides. So extend the right leg. Try to stay active in the right quadriceps. Bend into the left knee. Walk the left heel so it's in line with your left glute. Bring the right hand slightly back behind you for a bit of support. Extend the left arm overhead. And then wedge yourself to the inside of your left thigh. And then keep reaching further forward. Pull the belly in. Try to bend from the hips here. And once you've reached your max, rotate the hands so that the thumb is facing the floor and the palm is facing out. And then from here, begin to create a little bit of a bind. So work your left hand towards your lower back, towards your left thigh. Bring your right hand towards your sacrum. If the hands connect, bring them together. If not, it's not important. We get to work a little bit deeper from the belly, especially if the hands don't connect. Pull the belly in, gaze towards your right toes, and then begin to move a little bit further forward with the crown of the head. Press the sitting bones in towards the floor. Nice. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, slowly bringing yourself all the way back up, noticing how the blood flows back through your left arm. Bring the left hand back behind you in line with your spine. Extend the right arm overhead. As you exhale, option 1 is to interlace your arm around your leg and then create a twist from here. Option 2 is to hook the elbow on the outside of the left thigh and create a twist from there. Whichever is more comfortable for you. We want to make sure that we're maintaining a straight spine in either one. So really pulling the crown of the head up. Inhale. And as you exhale, slowly unwinding from the pose. Open the left knee out towards the left. Bring the right foot in to touch the left, coming into butterfly pose. So the knees are open wide towards the sides. And then try to open your feet kind of manually, like you're going to open a book. This might put a little bit more pressure on your ankles, but as long as it's not causing a serious amount of pain, it's okay. We're kind of working a bit more into our ankle and hip mobility here by opening the feet. You can bring the feet even a little bit closer towards you, towards your pelvis, and then keeping that openness of the feet, elongate the spine, pull the belly in, and then from here, begin to work yourself a little bit further forward. Maybe the elbows begin to press into the calves, into the inner thighs, helping you go a little bit deeper in this asana. Inhale. And with your next exhalation, slowly make your way back up. With your hands, bring your knees in towards the center. Walk the feet a little bit away from you. Bring your hands to your hamstrings, to underneath your thighs, and then round through the spine. Slowly make your way all the way down onto the floor. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Interlace your arms. Bring your chin in towards your knees, so creating this tiny ball shape with your body. Breathe deeply in through the nose. Press the belly on top of the thighs. And as you exhale, release the legs. Relax the arms. Maybe close the eyes, coming into Shavasana.